Good evening, and welcome to the regularly scheduled April meeting of the Glendale Commission on the Status of Women. Ms. Bavumian, may we have roll call, please?
Of course. Commissioner Donnellian? Here. Commissioner Garsavanian?
Here.
Commissioner Peck?
Here.
Vice Chair Pillsbury?
Here.
Commissioner Tushchin?
Present.
Commissioner Walker?
Here.
Chair Devine?
Here. Next item, please.
At 1A, we have the report regarding the posting of the agenda. The agenda for the April 12, 2010 meeting was posted on the bulletin board outside of City Hall on or before April 9, 2010.
Thank you. Next item.
At 2, introductions and presentations, we have Peace Over Violence. And we have Sari here from Peace Over Violence to give a little presentation for us today.
Hello, I'm Sari. I'm from Peace Over Violence. Peace Over Violence is a nonprofit organization building healthy relationships, families, and communities free from sexual assault, domestic violence, and interpersonal violence. We have intervention services and prevention services. Our intervention services have a 24-hour crisis hotline for victims and survivors of sexual assault, domestic violence, interpersonal violence, and stalking. There's someone on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we also have free counseling services, group therapy, and court accompaniment and hospital accompaniment. We can meet sexual assault survivors and domestic violence survivors at the hospital and help them through that process. For our intervention volunteer opportunities, we have a 85-hour-long intensive training to become a crisis intervention advocate, where you learn how to do hotline, how to be an advocate on the hotline and a counselor on the hotline. You learn about hospital accompaniments, how to support a survivor in that area. So that is our big volunteer opportunity. We have 2 trainings every year, one in September and then another one that starts in February. So the next training will start in September. And then we have our prevention services, where we have our In Touch with Teens curriculum. We go into middle schools and high schools and different areas and educate youth on healthy relationships, teen dating violence, sexual assault, sexual harassment, power and control, roots of violence, media, violence in the media. And so it's another extensive program we offer. We also do education to different organizations and different community centers. We also, for prevention, have self-defense trainings we offer for any women in the community. They're usually the 3rd Saturday of every month at our West End Gabriel Valley office in Pasadena for any woman who wants to take the class. And we have, for volunteer opportunities in prevention, we have a violence prevention specialist training. That's another training. We usually only offer it once a year, and we train on our In Touch with Teens curriculum, how to go into schools and talk to youth about violence education. So that is a little bit about Peace Over Violence. This month, since it's Sexual Assault Awareness Month, we put on Denim Day. This year it's April 21st, which is a Wednesday. And Denim Day started because in 1997, an 18-year-old girl was picked up for her first driving lesson by her 45-year-old driving instructor. And after an hour into the lesson, she was raped and left in an alley. And she went and pressed charges against him, and he was sentenced to jail and convicted of rape. And in 1999, the driving instructor appealed the sentence, and the case made its way up to the high Italian court, and the conviction was overturned, and he was released. And so the women in the Italian parliament were so upset about what had happened that they came to work the next day wearing jeans as a sign of protest. And this news made its way all the way to the United States, and Peace Over Violence heard about it and wanted to create a Denim Day in LA, and got everyone involved in 1999 on a Wednesday in April to wear jeans as a sign of protest and to make a social statement about myths that surround sexual assault. So now I'm going to show a Denim Day video.
A Supreme Court decision in Italy had members of their parliament in protest. The court overturned a rape conviction because the young victim was wearing jeans, ruling it impossible to take off jeans without the help of the person wearing them. Therefore, the court ruled the sex was consensual.
Official by the Senate passing Senate Concurrent Resolution 106 out of the Senate, out of the Assembly, which will memorialize California Denim Day from now to perpetuity.
LA City Council members clad in jeans and jackets all in support of Denim Day. In 1999, an Italian court threw out a rape conviction that prompted the group Peace Over Violence to launch its campaign raising awareness about rape and sexual assault.
And it is up to us, it is up to every one of us to help survivors come forward, shatter the shame, and get the help.
Saying no to sexual violence against women. We have to commit ourselves.
Denim Day has to go on beyond today. There's a tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, and it's going to be up to you to support survivors.
What you're doing here today, raising awareness and consciousness, is the best possible thing you can do.
And this is what Denim Day is about. That it's not about what you wear or what walk of life you come from, that no one deserves to be victimized.
No means no. No means no.
Denim Day, and that's why we're all standing here wearing jeans.
In the fight against rape, they wore denim. LA City
Put on your denim today and rock it, and it's against sexual abuse.
Today you're expecting almost 1 million people here.
Half a million to 1 million people. Yeah. And this year we've launched Denim Day USA, so it's spreading. There's Denim Day in Texas and in New Jersey and in Memphis. So the idea is to really
So to sign up for Denim Day in LA, you can go to the Peace Over Violence website, www.peaceoverviolence.org, and it can connect you to our Denim Day website. Are there any questions about Peace Over Violence or Denim Day?
Sari, that was a very good presentation. Can you, just at the beginning, and then we'll have you repeat it later, where the number we can call if anyone wants to volunteer for any of these classes and
Sure.
that you have?
If you'd like to volunteer, our office, that is our main metro office downtown, is 213-955-9090. And that will get you to the main metro office, and you can ask about volunteer opportunities, and they'll connect you to the right person.
Okay, and where are your offices in Los Angeles?
So we just moved to 1015 Wilshire, downtown, and the other office is in Pasadena on Fair Oaks.
Close by.
Yes.
Okay, I open the floor to the commissioners. Any questions? Commissioner Pillsbury, Vice Chair.
So if people want to do some volunteering, they need to take the state-mandated domestic violence training, which is what you were talking about, right? And then after that, how much of a commitment are you expecting? Say, is it once a week, once a month?
You would have a once-a-week hotline shift. That would be a once a week.
And that would be a couple of hours?
Yes, it'd be a few hours.
And if you were doing the accompanying people to the hospital, how often would that be?
That's during your same hotline shift. If you get a call, there's more than one person on the hotline at a time, so we have dispatchers that will call you and tell you that you have an accompaniment at the hospital that you have to go to.
So our viewers can expect, if they want to volunteer, this would be a once a week for a few hours commitment.
Yes, but the training is
a 40-hour, right?
It's longer. It's an 85-hour training.
So how do they break that up? 85.
So you have Tuesday nights from 6:30 to 9:30. Usually those are the hours, and then Saturday is from 9 to 5. So it's a very long, intense training because you have to be very prepared to talk to survivors and be able to counsel them through the process.
Any other commissioners have comments, questions?
I have a very quick question. One of the commissioners earlier, actually Commissioner Pillsbury, suggested that someone like you could attend a school, make a presentation. In fact, that would probably be an excellent opportunity to educate, and I guess education is part of the programs and services, students with respect to sexual assault and domestic violence. How would that work? How could we arrange for you or someone from your organization to attend these schools, make that presentation, and prepare for Denim Day?
Sure. For our Denim Day presentations, when we go to schools, if you just go to the Denim Day website, then you can sign up online and put in your information, and they'll get the request, and we will contact you about getting involved in your school. So that's for Denim Day. If you're looking for our In Touch with Teens curriculum, where we go in and we talk about sexual assault and dating violence and violence in the media and power and control, those topics, you can call the downtown office, the 213-955-9090. Or if you're more in the Pasadena, Glendale area, you can call our Pasadena office, which is 626-584-6191, and ask for me, Sari, S-A-R-I, and I coordinate all the schools out.
Great, thank you.
How many speakers do you have that are able to go out in a given day?
Well, for Denim Day, we just trained a violence prevention specialist on Denim Day specifically. So we have a group of 10 volunteers right now, in addition to staff who are trained on Denim Day presentations. For our normal In Touch with Teens curriculum, it's probably about the same, a little less than that.
I'm thinking that we mentioned also before your presentation to ex officio Peck that would be nice to get this into our high schools, and she happens to go to Glendale High School, and she can perhaps go to a counselor or one of her teachers and give them this information and perhaps get a speaker to her campus.
Definitely. We're still taking requests. So.
Great, okay. Thank you. That was any other comments, Commissioner Walker?
Is there any responsibility on part of the schools to participate in Denim Day? What would it entail for them to participate?
We try to get it student-led, so we try to put it on students to build their leadership and get their creativity involved. So for the schools, it would just be agreeing to let the students plan an event and approving that event. So, we have different kinds. Some schools do rallies. Some schools do little skits or plays. Some do like a clothesline and have people decorate jeans during lunch. There's a number of different ways schools can get involved and do different projects on Denim Day.
Okay. Mr. Pillsbury.
I have one more question about the hotline. And I'm assuming that that's for anybody who's has been assaulted or is in the midst of domestic violence.
And for significant others who are going through, their either their sister's process and they need to talk about, how they're feeling about, their, sister or aunt or whoever who was, abused or.
So it's a support hotline as opposed to, do you also help people get services? So if someone calls.
We do referrals. We give them different, if they need another resource to go to, if they're looking for counseling or shelter, or we just guide them in the right direction.
And can you give that number so our viewers have it if anybody needs it?
Yes. We have, they're all the same hotline, but we have different area codes. So the Pasadena one is 626-793-3385. And our downtown one is 213-626-3393. And you can call any of those. They'll get you to the same place. It's just security if someone's checking someone's phone. It's better to have the same area.
And it's 24 hours.
24 hours, 7 days a week. Christmas, any holidays, New Year's Eve. We have people on call.
That's great.
And if you're looking you need an advocate to go to the hospital, you can call and ask us how you can go through that process. So we answer questions and give referrals as well.
Vice Chair Pillsbury and I are working right now on a domestic violence or task force here in Glendale that's just starting up. And I think you would be wonderful to come and speak to that group. So I think
Yes.
we'll keep your number and we will invite you to come to our next meeting, hopefully. Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you for the great presentation. Any other comments? Commissioner Walker?
Do you know how many countries right now are participating?
I do not know that information, but we could find that information out for you. I know in the U.S., in the video they list some cities that are participating. New York just signed on this year. They're doing Denim Day in New York this year. So, but other countries, I would have to ask.
I have a quick question. May I?
Tostian, sure.
Thank you very much. What is the Legal Advocacy Project?
Yes, we have legal advocacy as well for survivors of sexual assault or survivors of domestic violence, interpersonal violence. If they need some legal services and legal advocacy, we have people on staff who are trained in that area to provide services.
And obviously there's volunteers who want to contribute their time towards this legal advocacy project. Could do so by calling the 213 or the 626 number.
Yes.
Are they attorneys that you have on staff?
We connect with local attorneys, and then we also just have legal advocates who've been trained on how to help people with restraining order process or helping people with different new visas or things like that.
Right. I know that Commissioner, our chair, Carla Curlin, who's now a judge, in L.A. was very involved in Peace Over Violence, and I'm sure she did that very thing.
Yes, it's a great legal advocacy project that we have. It's actually at the Pasadena office, so if you're looking for legal advocacy services, it's at the 626-584-6191 number.
Well, thank you very much for coming, and we just want to repeat that April 21st is Denim Day, and if everyone, men and women in Glendale, children, adults, would wear denim on April 21st to let everyone know that we're aware of sexual assault and that we want to make sure that there is absolutely no reason for it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And also, I should add that we would like to have volunteers call and perhaps get involved in the program. That would be really important and valuable as well. Okay, our next item, Ms. Babumian.
At 3, we have oral comment. Discussion is limited to items not a part of this agenda. Time is limited to an amount to be set by the chair. The commission may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or discussion. Staff may refer the matter to the proper department for investigation and report.
And I have one card, Sharon Weissman.
Thank you. I'm Sharon Weissman from Far North Glendale, and I'm here on behalf of Glendale Peace Vigil to invite you and everyone listening to our next Peace Vigil Film Forum. We're going to be screening Rethink Afghanistan on Friday, May 7th at the Glendale Central Library, 222 East Harvard at Louise. Doors open at 7, where there'll be an opportunity to visit various tables from various organizations. One of my other organizations, Glendale Education and Social Justice Advocates, will have a table there. And this is the first time we're having a performance by Dragon Kid of a hip-hop lyric poem. He happens to be a graduate of Daily High here in Glendale. And we hope everyone will come. There'll be discussion after the film. We're asking the maker of the film, Robert Greenwald, to come. He's local. If he's not, our normal moderator, our Professor Lisa LeBeau from Glendale Community College will be there. And I have flyers if you'd like. I particularly hope the student members will take a few and share. We like volunteers too. Glendale Peace Vigil meets every Friday, 5 to 7 at Broadway and Brand to advocate problem solving other than by war. And I think the earlier presentation on violence fits right in. When people solve problems individually through violence, they tend to think war is a problem solving mechanism. And in neither case, I think that's the best way to go. So thank you very much for your time.
Can you give us the time again when you meet?
Doors open at 7 o'clock. That's Friday, May 7th at the Glendale Central Library.
And you meet on Broadway?
We meet Broadway and Brand, 5 p.m. to 7 every Friday to demonstrate against the war and other progressive causes. And also our sister organization, the Montrose Peace Vigil, meets from 5:30 to 7 at the corner of Honolulu and Ocean View there in Glendale's Old Town there in Montrose. So, thank you.
Great, thank you. And they can just show up. They don't have to call,
everyone
just
is
show
welcome
up.
on both vigils.
Great. Very good. Next item, Ms. Babumian.
At 4, consent items A is approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting held on February 8th, 2010. And this is being brought back to the commission because, per your request, Chair Devine, to have a motion made this time around.
Right. And we had some, Commissioner Walker was absent, so we need the approval of all others. So do I have a motion to accept the minutes for the February meeting as they stand? Commissioner Pillsbury?
I so move.
Second.
And Commissioner Tostian seconds. Do we have unanimous consent? Okay. Yes?
Chair Devine, I
Yes.
believe we must vote on this item.
Okay, so let's take a roll call.
I think you probably have all ayes with the exception of the one abstention. I think that's probably what you're
Okay, fine. So can we have roll call, please, for the vote?
Commissioner Garcevanyan?
Yes.
Vice Chair Pillsbury,
Yes.
Commissioner Tushchin,
Yes.
Commissioner Walker,
Abstain, right?
Chair Devine.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we'll move on to the minutes for March 8th, and there we had Commissioners Garsavanian and Tostian not present, so we have a roll call. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes as they stand?
I move
Commissioner Walker, do I have a second?
A second.
Commissioner Pillsbury, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Garsavanian, Vice Chair Pillsbury,
Yes.
Commissioner Tushchin,
Abstain.
Commissioner Walker,
Yes.
Chair Devine.
Yes. Next item, please.
At 5, business agenda, A, action items. At 1 is the Commission on the Status of Women's Master Calendar of Events for 2010, and at 8 is a motion to provide direction regarding the master calendar.
Okay, I'll assume that everyone's looked over the calendar, and you can see the busy month of April that we have. And I hope that I'll see everybody there at these classes and especially at the Take Back the Night rally. Do we have any corrections or additions to the calendar as it is presented? Commissioner Pillsbury?
Question.
Vice Chair. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to call you Vice Chair. Vice Chair.
I don't care. Do we have the dates for Rosie?
For Rosie, we do have the dates, so we
Okay.
can definitely, thank you for pointing that out, we can put the dates on there.
Because we don't have that on the agenda tonight, but you can add those to the, great, okay. Okay, any others? Okay, do I have a motion to accept the minutes as amended? The calendar as amended?
I make a motion.
Commissioner Garsavanian, do I have a second? Commissioner Tostian? And we have unanimous consent?
Yes.
Next item, please.
At 2 is consideration and discussion of the Commission on the Status of Women's Committee responsibilities and assignments, and at A is a motion providing direction regarding the committee responsibilities and assignments.
Okay.
Would you like a report, Chair?
Please, Ms. Babunian, if you would.
Just like to note before I start the report, this item is being held over from the last regular meeting of the Commission. The report is not identical to the report that was presented last month. We made some changes, staff made some changes based on some comments received, and so this is a little bit different. At the June 2004 regular meeting of the Commission on the Status of Women, the Commission had established 4 working committees to address different elements of the strategic plan, and since then, the Commission has undergone several changes in their committees, and at this point, there is only one committee that stands, which is the Policy and Program Committee. Staff respectfully recommends at this time the creation of an additional 3 committees, which would be the Communications Committee, Signature Programs Committee, and Development Committee. These committees reflect the goals of the 2009 to 2014 strategic plan for the Commission. Each committee member that will be selected for the various committees would work with their fellow commissioners and staff to fulfill the Commission direction and goals. Committee appointments will be for a 1-year term, which will run from April 2010 to April 2011, and commissioners are eligible for reappointment for those same positions should they choose at that time. Would you like to have an explanation of the various committees? I can go
yes,
into that. if you'd
let's
like.
just do a brief one of each one so that everyone gets an idea of the project and which one they would kind of fit best into.
The Policy and Program Committee was originally comprised of the chair, the vice chair, and up to 2 other appointed commissioners. And due to the recent reorganization of the commission and being that it went from 7 members to 5 members, staff recommends at this time that the committee be comprised of chair and vice chair only. The committee is primarily responsible for the strategic planning process, reporting publications, suggesting policies and programs to the Commission, and selecting the focus for the upcoming year. The Communications Committee would be responsible for developing community relations, marketing, and speaking to the community about the Commission. As outlined in the Commission on the Status of Women's procedural guidelines that were finalized in November of 2004, The chair and/or vice chair are designated as the official spokesperson to the press media on official decisions of the commission. Staff recommends that this committee be comprised of no more than 2 commissioners and further recommends that the chair serves as the spokesperson for this committee. The Development Committee would essentially be responsible for exploring options for permanent long-term funding sources, exploring grants, developing public and private partnerships to enhance sponsorships and funding opportunities, and exploring options for volunteer recruitment. Staff recommends that at least 1 commissioner serve on this committee. The Signature Programs Committee would be responsible for working with staff and on various programs that the Commission organizes. As outlined in the Commission on the Status of Women's 2009 to 2014 Strategic Plan, the signature programs of the Commission consist of SAM and DVAM, which are Sexual Assault Awareness Month and Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Women at the Table, How to Get Appointed to a City Board Commission, Camp Rosie, Ready, Set, Vote, Hands and Words Are Not for Hurting Project, and Money Matters. Staff recommends that the Signature Programs Committee be comprised of at least 2 commissioners who may act as project lead on at least a couple of the programs. The project lead for each program will be responsible for coordinating and delegating duties related to their program and are not expected to work alone. Each project lead will be working with fellow commissioners and with staff to fulfill the Commission's direction and goals. As the planning phase of each event approaches, the project lead will have the opportunity to take an active role in planning and developing assignments. Each project lead will be working with fellow commissioners and staff, as we mentioned, and it is recommended that the Commission provide direction on these 4 committees and proceed from there.
Okay, and as I see it, the Policy and Program Committee is set with Commissioner Vice Chair Pillsbury and myself on that one. So that one has been taken care of. The Communications Committee, the chair serves as the spokesperson, and the vice chair. So that one is taken care of as well. So that would leave, and I might also mention, as far as signature programs, Sexual Assault Awareness Month has been set. I've worked with Ms. Baboumian, and we've and with Senator Carol Liu's office, and we have our Sexual Assault Awareness Month program planned. So that one is finished. So on that signature program, we're just looking for Domestic Violence Awareness Month right now. It will carry over to next year, but right now this year is taken care of. Camp Rosie, Commissioner Pillsbury, Vice Chair Pillsbury, and myself met with with Ms. Baboumian, and we have tweaked that program and changed it up a bit to make it a little more enticing. So for this year, that is already done as well. Okay, so you're only looking at one time for that project. So with that being said, if you all followed that, what we have left is Development Committee, and then, of course, the signature programs that can be it's recommended to have 2 chairs, and I think that might be a good idea so that you can share the responsibilities. Ms. Baboumian, do you have anything that you want to add to what I've been running on about?
I don't think so at this point, Chair Devine. I don't know if Ms. Varpetian does, though.
I have a quick comment that you should consider in moving forward, and that has to do with the Brown Act. So when you're looking to form these committees, keep in mind that you want to limit the number to 1 or 2. If you have 3, then the committee will be having a joint meeting with the commission, and I think you want to avoid that. You want to avoid the committee work at the commission level. The item where you've got the Signature Programs Committee, if what you're looking for there is individuals to oversee a particular program or a particular project, and it's limited in scope, and then once that goal is accomplished, then that committee dissolves, then what you would have in the group is less than a quorum of this commission, then you're not subject to the Brown Act. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. Not that there's anything wrong with complying with the Brown Act. What you might have is the difficulty of scheduling the meetings, far enough in advance that you need to post the agenda, limiting your discussion to what's on the agenda. So you've got to be aware of that when you're forming the committee going forward.
Vice Chair Pillsbury?
A couple things. I noticed in the description further on that some of these events we've decided not to do this year, or they're on hold. It says Women at the Table usually takes place in late May based on direction. Events put on hold. That's on page 4 of this. And the Money Matters also is awaiting the political decision tomorrow. So anyway, I'm being convoluted, but it seems to me from what Council is saying that for each of the events that we are doing, 1 or 2 people should volunteer to be the lead, and those 1 or 2 people will meet with staff in order to do the planning. So if each person, in the way that Chair Devine said that we met on Camp Rosie with staff and with the staff that are on the program, other people want to step up to the plate and pick one of the other events to be the lead, that would seem to be a doable way to do it.
Right. Well,
Sorry for the...
No, but I think that's what Ms. Barpetian was saying, was the fact that we could indeed have 2 different commissioners or 1 commissioner do each one of these events instead of having just 2 do them all. We could split them up, and that would work as well. Ms. Baboumian?
Exactly.
Okay, so I guess we're at the point now where we want to ask you all to choose the projects that you have a particular interest in, and then you can volunteer to be the chair of that. And of course, as we've said, you will work with staff, but we do need someone for the development committee, and that is one I think that 1 commissioner, it says, can serve on that one. We could, of course, have 2 on that one as well, if there are 2 that are interested in the volunteers for this commission, or trying to work in the community to enhance our sponsorships and funding opportunities. Or we can simply have a couple of volunteers for the signature programs. Or can I hear from the commission, please?
Well, I'll be interested in the domestic violence program, in playing a leading role as a commissioner. I'd be interested in that program.
And the sexual assault awareness for next year?
Certainly.
Okay, so we'll have Ms. Baboumian. Commissioner Tostian has volunteered for the Sexual Assault Awareness Month and the Domestic Violence Awareness Month for next year. We thought that would be a perfect fit for you. Yeah.
Yes, I would
with
think
your,
so.
With your background. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else for...
I have a question. So for the Camp Rose, you said we already have commissioners?
Yes, that one we have, well, because it starts for this year, but we do need for next year to...
I would volunteer for the next year.
Okay.
And also for the Hands and Words, or not for the Herding Project.
Okay, so Commissioner Garzabanian for the Hands Project and Camp Rosie. That leaves Commissioner Walker. What are your...
Money Matters. And what's left?
How about the Development Committee? We need a chair for the Development Committee. And you have the most experience of all of the new, more than the newer commissioners in that realm. Does that interest you at all? Can we count on
if
you?
somebody also co-chairs with me, or would serve as a vice chair.
Is there someone that would like to co-chair on that one?
If I can help, sure. For development.
Okay, so that would be Commissioner Walker and Commissioner Garzabanian. Thank you, both.
We didn't do ready, set, vote.
Ready, Set, Vote is one that we will do in the year of the election, when the next election is in, correct?
Yes, Chair Devine, the next election is April 2011. So at this time, it would be appropriate to pick someone who can help get that started, perhaps in February, January or February.
And what year was that?
2011?
2011?
Or
That's
we can-
next. I'm thinking, where will I be in 2011?
Maybe we should wait till September on that, because
I'll volunteer for that. I'll take that one on and work with the League of Women Voters, and a nice group to work with. And Ms. Baboumian. Okay, and then the last one, of course, is the jewels for next year, and then that will be decided next year. So we don't have to worry about that right now as far as a chair for that.
Chair Devine, I did
Baboumian,
have a question. For the Communications Committee, did we establish that one?
Well, I kind of said that it says that the chair serves as spokesperson, so I volunteer. Yes, Ms. Garpetian?
Madam Chair, if I can comment on that particular committee, I don't know that Communications Committee is what you're looking for, because once you form that committee and it's a standing committee, now you're subject to the Brown Act. The guidelines already dictate that the chair and the vice chair are the individuals who speak for the commission.
Okay.
So that being the case, establishing a committee is redundant and probably not necessary. So you might want to reconsider whether or not a committee is really necessary, entitled Communications.
In essence, we are all spokespersons for the
Well,
commission.
no, the guidelines are pretty specific that the chair and the vice chair are the ones.
The official, for the media and the press, yes.
Correct.
Yes, but other than
Correct.
that, everybody is a spokesperson.
Absolutely.
For all a
Mhm.
committee of spokespersons. Okay.
did staff have anything else in mind when this was drawn up?
I think the
besides
only-
speaking to the community?
We do have just developing community relations and marketing. Developing community relations is something that essentially, as Chair Devine said, each commissioner is a spokesperson. Each person can essentially work on that, and as far as marketing the commission as well.
And in the past, if I'm not mistaken, if a commissioner does want to establish a formal relationship with a community group, then the proper procedure would be to bring that back to the commission and have the commission take formal action with regard to that. So the commitment would be made at the commission level at a noticed meeting.
Okay, so in general, each of us as commissioners should be talking to the community groups that we are already part of and doing outreach, and if events come up that we would like to partner with or we would like to recommend to the commission, we bring them back to the commission and discuss them.
Correct.
Okay.
Every event, every place we go, we should be talking about the commission and the work of the commission. So we are all ambassadors of this commission and the work that we do, and we should all keep that in mind every place we go. And I think especially now that we're in the throes of the Jewels of Glendale, the luncheon, so we should be really thinking about it in those terms. Okay, so do we have Ms. Garpetian?
I'm sorry, one more comment, and I hate that I'm being a stickler on these things, but the title for the next committee is Signature Programs Committee, and I don't think your intent was to form a committee, but to form individuals who were responsible for specific projects. So not to be a stickler, but when the staff report says committee, it sounds like you're now taking action on forming a committee with the various individuals taking the lead on its various components. I think what you're trying to do is be consistent with what was happening before, which is individuals who are project leads, and what that means is that they serve for the limited purpose of accomplishing the goals of that particular project, and then once that's done, then that the need for that small group is dissolved.
So what you're saying, in essence, is last month's agenda item and the way it was put together is the better of the two, because that's the way we had it. We had a by month and by activity event, and that was the way we were going to do it. And then so when we make the motion, do we make the motion to that effect? That, as you just described it? Or?
Yeah, you can probably take have one motion with the Policy and Programs Committee, the Development Committee, and the various project leads as described during the meeting.
Okay.
So just to summarize, we're talking about having two standing committees, Policy and Program Committee and Development Committee. And then for each of our programs, there will be individual leads who will be responsible for working with staff to accomplish that. And that everybody will be doing outreach for the commission, but the chair and the vice chair will be responsible for talking to the media.
Thank
Correct?
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion?
I so move.
Second?
I second.
Do we have a consensus? Yes. Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Ms. Griffith.
And good luck to everyone. Next item, please.
At 3, we have an update on the 2010 Jewels of Glendale event, and at A is a motion providing direction regarding the event.
Okay, can we have a report on that, please, Ms. Baboumian?
Sure. Pursuant to standing direction from the Commission on the Status of Women, planning for the 6th Annual Jewels of Glendale is underway. As we all know and we've talked about, the Jewels of Glendale is our major fundraising event. It will be held on Thursday, May 13th, 2010. We've changed the time to just open the doors a little bit earlier at 11 a.m. to allow our guests more time at the volunteer exhibit and the silent auction tables. The awards program will start at noon and will run until 1:30 p.m. at the Embassy Suites Hotel in Glendale. Tickets are $60 each, and student tickets are $30. The 2010 Jewels of Glendale Women of Courage Award winners, as were announced at our last meeting, are Lisa Bubari, Deborah Collins, Camille Levy, and Melina Thorpe. In addition, the GEM Scholarship Award winner was chosen. Her name is Leolia Hovhannissian. She's a graduating student from Glendale High School. She's a pre-med on her way to becoming a doctor. And in addition, the chair of the commission will give special recognition to Genevieve Sultanfuss, who is celebrating her 100th birthday this year. In keeping with the Year of the Volunteer theme, as we mentioned, interested local nonprofit organizations have been invited to have informational tables set up directly outside the luncheon room at no cost, and this will provide them with the opportunity to inform guests about their organization and how they can get involved to assist in their various missions. Approximately 15 organizations may participate on a first-come, first-served basis. The estimated budget for the 2010 Jewels of Glendale event, as you have in your reports, is $11,250. This is given that the Commission has an average attendance of 250 guests. This cost will increase as the number of attendees increases. Our minimum goal is 200, but we'd like to get at least 250. This year, the speakers at the event will consist of the Jewel Award winners, the various people who are being recognized. The event will be led by a mistress of ceremonies, who is Suzanne Watley Miller. She's the host of Healthline, a television show brought to the community by Glendale Adventist, and also KPCC Radio as well. To date, the Commission has received the number that you have. It's a little bit outdated since the report was published. It is actually now $7,240 in sponsorships, advertisements, and ticket sales. We have that much money in so far. In order to continue raising money for the various programs of the Commission, it's important for each member to actively secure sponsorships and advertisements for the event in collaboration with Chair Devine, who is a sponsorship lead, and with Commissioner Tastian, who is the advertisement lead. It is recommended that each commissioner be responsible for the sale or purchase of 10 tickets for this event and at least $1,000 worth of sponsorships or advertisements. Sponsorship packets have been sent to all previous sponsors and posted on the Commission website. In addition, we have sent out now over 500 invitations. to previous supporters, various community members, local organizations, and businesses. At this point, staff respectfully seeks Commission direction with regards to further planning activities of the 2010 Jewels of Glendale event.
Okay, I'm going to turn this over to Vice Chair Pillsbury, who is our chair for the event.
And I think we should start by just summing up what everybody has done to make sure that everybody is on target. Chair, do we include the students in our questioning?
We can.
Okay. So let's start with Commissioner Peck. Did I pronounce your Peck? I'm sorry. So are you planning to attend the event? Excellent. And have you asked anybody for sponsorship or for ads?
Not yet.
Okay. Have you thought of anybody you can ask? Or tickets, like your mother and her friends, or anybody that you would like to gather to put together a table, so it makes it more fun too.
Think of some teachers that are interested.
Okay, that would be great. Staff has the invitations and would be happy to supply that. Okay, keep going around. Commissioner Walker.
Yes, working on sponsorships, advertisements, and silent auctions.
Okay, and you're planning to attend?
Definitely.
Definitely. And are you putting together a table?
No, not at this point.
Okay.
But I'm always, inviting people.
Okay, because...
But I don't know, putting together, personally sponsoring a table.
Well, one of the things we discussed is that each of us would be responsible for either selling 10 tickets or purchasing ourselves 10 tickets. So then there's a table of people that we've invited and we can count on. That way, if we have 5 of us, we can count on at least 50 people because there are, because we're each responsible for 10. So
that includes the sponsorships, ticket sales that's included in the package.
No, it's actually a table that you're responsible for. If you bring in sponsorships and ads, that's good too, but we're each, I think we decided at the last meeting or the meeting before that
but if
each
you
commissioner
exceed your sponsorships, or because the sponsors, they get certain free tables, right, or seats.
Right.
Can you refresh me on that, Ms. Mabumian?
The Diamond sponsorship, which is a $5,000 sponsorship, with that you get 10 tickets and a full-page advertisement and promotional media, press releases. That information will be included.
Good memory.
Emerald sponsorship is $2,500. I believe that.
Four tickets. 4 tickets, I believe, and then it goes to 2 tickets.
$1,000 for the...
Well, the point of it is that it doesn't matter what your sponsorships are. It's each one of us is responsible for a table. For instance, if I got my 10 tickets out of the sponsorships that I've gotten, then I'd be done. I wouldn't have to do anything more. But I'm going to buy a table because that was the commitment that we made.
Or you will ask 9 of your friends to buy tickets and sit at your table.
Yeah,
so we
sit
each
at your table, so we know that
have a table that we've brought in the money for. Does that make sense?
Yes.
In addition to the sponsorships and the ads.
And what is the minimum sponsorship?
$500.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. If you go beyond the 500.
No.
If you're able to get additional sponsorships.
That's great, and that's what we want you to do. We want you to get as many sponsorships as you can. But those 2 tickets do not count as your 10 tickets. We're each supposed to be doing a sponsorship and some ads and our own personal table that we sponsor.
Well, that we buy the tickets or have our friends buy the tickets. That we're responsible for filling, because we want people in the room and we want
them to be paid.
Paid people in the room. Okay. Commissioner Tashjian
Yes.
will be there.
Yes, I will be there, and I'm pretty confident that I'll have a table.
Excellent, excellent.
I've
Your 9 best friends.
my 9 best friends, including my wife. I'm having it's hard to say with respect to the advertisements. I've gotten verbal commitments from certain colleagues, but nothing definitive yet. I'm hoping to develop that in the next couple of weeks, and with the help of the chair, I did get some additional information today. Again, I hope that I'll follow up on that within the next, actually it should be sooner than the next couple of weeks, because we're coming up to a deadline, I believe, of April the 28th.
April 28th.
April 28th, so that's 2 weeks we have to get the rest of the sponsors. The event is a month from tomorrow. I mean, it's the 12th today, and it's May 13th. So we've got 2 more weeks to get ads and sponsorships, and we have 3 weeks to sell tickets, right? Because we have till the week before for the tickets. So 2 more weeks for the ads and sponsorship, and 3 more weeks to get the tables set up. Because we also want to be able to plan the seating so it runs smoothly. Excellent, excellent. And Commissioner Devine.
I will be there, and I will have a table, and yes.
And why don't you tell the commission how many you've been going gangbusters on sponsorship?
Well, I've been trying, and we have, actually we have $7,200 already, and we do have some that are coming in. We have a great sponsorship from Glendale Adventist. Glendale Memorial is a sponsor, Nick Lamb and Pacific BMW. I understand Path Achieve is going to be a sponsor. We should be hearing from Glendale Community College. They're going to sponsor. Some of these we don't even have their funds yet, but they have committed to sponsoring and also to ads. And let's not forget that we all have to get silent auction items as well. We have to help Commissioner Garsavanian. So the sponsorships, if each one of us would get one sponsorship for, like, let's say $1,000, that would be a huge help. Hopefully we can get more, but it would really be a big help.
Excellent, excellent. And Commissioner Garsavanian.
Okay, so I was responsible for the silent action. So at this moment, we have 7 items on the list that are set, and additional almost 10 items that probably going to be added.
But we want a total of about 12 items. Isn't that what we discussed?
We're trying to keep it small because last year we had so many and it was very confusing, and so this year we're trying to keep it very tight. And
10 that I'm talking about, they're not set yet, so it may be less than that. So, but at least 12 will be for sure committed.
And you're going to be at the event,
of course.
And
I'm going to get a table.
Okay, with your 9 best friends.
9 best friends and family.
And have you talked to anybody about advertisements, selling some advertisements for the program?
Not yet. I just got my package today, so I'm going to start working.
Excellent.
Tomorrow.
Okay. And was there a question there?
Donnellian.
Commissioner Donnellian. Thank you.
I was trying to tell you.
Terrible at names.
I'm going to be there. Hopefully, I'll have a table, and I'm still working on advertisement and sponsorships.
Great, great. So you've started asking people?
Yes, I have.
Excellent, excellent.
It's trying my best.
And I have spoken to all of our award winners. They are all very excited. They have all submitted biographical information, which I am putting together for the program. The things that need to be done, because that was part of the question here, was the rest of the information for the program, the letters and whatever. How are we doing with the volunteer tables? Have any volunteer organizations?
A couple of them have,
Okay.
but I don't have the list with me. I apologize, but a couple of them
That's fine.
have.
Do you need some help from any commissioners in contacting the organizations, or?
Maybe with follow-up, and I will keep you all posted.
Okay.
Follow-up might be helpful.
Because perhaps, some of us have some time to help with that. We also spoke about getting canned good donations as part of the decorations on the tables that we would then give to the Salvation Army food bank as part of our volunteer, Year of the Volunteer. And do we have any word on that?
We have 2 companies pending at this point, and we will keep you all posted about those 2.
And I have one as well.
That would include the
bonds?
Yes, that's included in
Great.
Okay, excellent. Good work, everybody.
Okay.
And
So what we really need the most is, would be the sponsorships and the ads. And hopefully the tickets will take care of themselves and come in since we've sent out the invitations. I wanted to, if I could, does that complete your report?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to add a little bit, a few comments about Genevieve Sultanfuss, and she's going to be receive special recognition. And the reason we're recognizing her, not only because she's going to turn 100 this year, but she was the first female president of the Glendale Chamber of Commerce. She was the first female president of the Glendale Association of Realtors, and she was the first president of the Verdugo Club when it began back in the day. And she has a lot of other firsts, but you'll all have to come to the luncheon to find out what they were. And she's a fabulous woman, and I think it's very fitting that this commission honor her for her 100 years, and she's fabulous, so I hope everyone will be there. And we are offering happy birthday ads for her if anybody would like to purchase one of those. Their business-sized cards are $100, and I believe the half page is $250. So if anybody out there wants to wish Genevieve happy birthday or congratulations to our awardees who are just fabulous, you can do the same. Thank you all for the work that you're doing on this and for the report. Thank you, Vice Chair Pillsbury. Do we need any more? We don't need a motion on this. We just simply need everybody to pull together and make this a success.
Question?
Yes.
I'm
Commissioner
looking
Walker.
at the budget, and it says here opportunity drawings. And do we have an idea what these opportunity drawings are?
We're actually not doing an opportunity drawing. We're just doing a small silent auction.
I'm sorry, that is supposed to say, my mistake, silent auction items.
Okay, because you don't have that on you. Okay, I gotcha.
It's up on the top.
My mistake. And all that was meant to be was that the silent auction items we wouldn't be purchasing, that we would be asking for various companies to donate those items that we could auction off. But thank you for catching.
But we're not doing any raffle.
Per the city attorney's office, the city of Glendale is basically, it's recommended that they not do a raffle or opportunity drawings. If we had a 501c3, that's something that we could pursue. But being as to how we're a city entity, we cannot do opportunity drawings. We've been advised not to.
And do we know, in terms of the publicity, we've allotted 1,500 as to what it's been allocated for?
The $1,500 was going to go towards advertisements in the Glendale News Press. That's the idea that we had. If there's any other suggestions as to where the advertisements should go, staff can take those recommendations.
We're going to have, this year, we're going to have the big ads and then, of course, in the calendar section. So I think that will be adequate, hopefully. Okay, any other questions from the commissioners? Okay, let's move on then. Next item.
Under 5B reports, information only, is an update on Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
And you want to give us a little report, Ms. Babumian,
I'll
please?
give a quick update on what's changed. So at the last commission meeting, the commission had discussed securing funding to offer self-defense classes to women and girls in the city of Glendale. As a result of the discussion we had at our meeting last month, a female-owned business, Vision Communications Company, came forward and provided the funding for the commission to be able to present the 2 free self-defense classes to women and girls in the city of Glendale. The Office of State Senator Carol Liu has also offered to partner with the commission to help get the message out to as many community members as possible. The first class will be held tomorrow, Tuesday, April 13, 2010, and the second one will be held on Wednesday, April 21st, that's next week, Denim Day, 2010. They will both be held from 6 to 8:30 p.m. in the large community room of the Glendale Police Department, which is located at 131 North Isabel Street. Women and girls ages 12 and up are encouraged to attend either or both sessions, and those interested can call City Hall 548-4844. There are still spots available in both classes, so please sign up.
Comments? Vice Chair Pillsbury?
I have a couple questions. Are people allowed to just show up, or do people need to be signed up in advance?
At this point, for tomorrow's class, people can show up. For Wednesday's class, in case it fills up, I would still strongly encourage people to RSVP. The limited number is a big number. It's about 90, and right now we have almost 40 people signed up for, actually we have over 40 people signed up for the Wednesday, April 21st class. So we don't anticipate it filling up for tomorrow, but within 10 days, it might fill up for the Wednesday class. So tomorrow, please show up. On Wednesday, please call ahead.
And where are people supposed to park?
Good question. There's free parking in the Civic Center parking lot. That is accessible on Wilson between Glendale and Isabel. Just park in there where it says visitor parking, and they can walk through Parcher Plaza, which is the Civic Center Plaza, the brick area, and cross Isabel to get to the police community room at the police station.
Any other comments? I think it's a really good schedule. I think the self-defense classes are great. I want to encourage women that are listening, no matter what your age, to try to call in and come to one of these classes. I encourage the commissioners to be there so that we have good representation. So please check the dates that these are scheduled for: Tuesday, tomorrow night, and Wednesday the 21st, which is Denim Day, so we can all wear our denim when we go to our self-defense class. And then, of course, the most important one is the Take Back the Night Rally and Clothesline Project. Please, I ask all commissioners to be there. It's very important. We do march. I can't remember if Ms. Babumian described the march from City Hall from the Y to City Hall, where we will have the self-defense class that evening and then back. And the Clothesline Project will be at the Y with a reception, and that is from 5:30 to 7:30. So if you can't be there at 5:30 and you can be there at 6, that's okay too, but I encourage the commissioners to be there. I mentioned at the City Council meeting, and I thank them, by the way, for the proclamation declaring April Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Vice Chair Pillsbury and I went and received the proclamation for all of us and for Peace Over Violence. But because of a new cutback, because of the financial straits that the state is in, Glendale is going to be facing the release of many felons that will be released early into our community, and I think it's really important for women to be ready to prepare yourselves for this. These are men who have committed domestic violence crimes, they've committed sexual assault crimes, and they're going to be out on early release. And I say be prepared. Come to our classes. We're offering them. They are free, and it would really behoove you to be prepared. So please take advantage of this schedule. Again, one more time, tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at the police building. Wednesday, April 21st, 6 o'clock, the community room at the police department, and then the Take Back the Night rally for the third one. Any other comments?
Say where to meet for the Take Back.
For the Take Back the Night rally and Clothesline Project, we meet at the YWCA on Lexington at 5:30. And then it's right by Whole Foods, in case you don't know where it is. It's right across the street from Whole Foods. So we'll all meet there, and they usually have signs and placards for us to carry, and there's usually a pretty good turnout, and we just raise awareness of sexual assault, and hopefully the community usually responds, blowing the horns and all that. We get a tremendous police escort, and it's usually a very well-attended affair, so I hope to see everybody there. Any other comments? I think that would be it. See everybody there. Next item, please.
At 6, we have commission and staff comments.
Okay, so we'll begin tonight. If anyone has a comment or an event coming up. So let's start with ex officio Donnellian. Do you have anything to report from Glendale Community College?
Well, the program is still going on, the Women's History Month. So every Tuesdays and Thursdays during 12 to 1, we're still having different organizations and different teachers come in and talk to us about certain issues, all the way from talking about history and going over to sexual awareness. So that's been going really well. I've been attending most of them, and I've been very impressed with some of the organizations. Hopefully we could get them in the future to come here and talk, so I'll be willing to work that out. And then I also I was really impressed with the Peace Over Violence presentation. I think they do a really good job, so I think it's very important that women be involved with such programs.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Garcevanian?
I would just, my comment is that I would ask everybody to participate more and sell more tickets, and I will try my best in bringing more money.
Vice Chair Pillsbury?
I would like to encourage everybody to participate in Denim Day, wear your denim, and for those of you who work in big offices or go to school, you can arrange, you can publicize it, it can become a fundraiser. When my daughters were in high school, at their high school, they wore denim and everybody contributed $5, and the $5 went to a domestic violence project. So I encourage you to think grassroots at your own school or your own office. You can be an organizer. And I encourage you to buy your ticket for the Jewels of Glendale and come to our fabulous event. And when you come to our event, you can also bring canned goods which will be donated to the Salvation Army. So we will be using canned goods to decorate the tables, and we will have a bin for people who bring canned goods. The more food we raise, the more people get to eat.
Good. Commissioner Tostian?
I'm very excited about Denim Day. Be quite frank with you, I wasn't too familiar with it until very recently. I'm going to encourage my daughter, and I'm going to contact my children's school in Pasadena in order to participate in Denim Day through the program that was offered today. I'm also very excited about the Take Back the Night rally, and I'm hopefully going to participate in that also. And please, if anyone out there wants to contribute any type of ads, either business ads or half-page ads or sponsorships, contact us, contact the City of Glendale. The commissioners, each one of us is ready to accept your ads and sponsorships, and I thank you for that.
Mr. Walker?
Yes. Likewise, for Denim Day, we encourage the public to participate in that. And actually this week I'm going to be meeting with some local educators, and I am going to be including this project in some of that meeting agenda and how to bring it to the community. Also, last month was LA Fashion Week, and I was privileged to bring some events to Glendale through, number one, the Holy Family High School. They did a successful Spring into Fashion show, which raised $50,000 for needy but deserving young women. And it's all through volunteer things, sponsorships, and it was only 200 people, but the way that they really put it together was really wonderful. So hopefully we'll be able to duplicate that. And
Mr. Walker, we'll be looking for you to do that, okay?
I was privileged to be part of the event by helping with the choreography and the entertainment. So, commissioners, anytime we want to do a fashion show. Okay. And also last Saturday, Glendale-based foundation put together the fashion, which is the Hope for Children Foundation. We hosted a fashion and rock mash at the Brand Cigar Club and Lounge. And that's part of our efforts to bring in the LA Fashion Week here in Glendale and also to support local businesses. And it brought together 6 different designers and a band and, a fashion show, especially encouraging the young to, it's a different kind of fashion show because it focused on different ethnicities and different looks and different body types. So it encouraged the young to have a different look on fashion, and and that the best accessory is really one's confidence and not just how you look and what the media portrays the perfect model to be. So it was really a successful event. And lastly, on May 1st, there's a musical parody on the delights and perils of social networking and the World Wide Web. It's called World Wide Web. And Wild Web, See, Michael there is part of this event, and it's put together by the youth also to raise funds for needy families and the youth as well. It's at the Hollywood Celebrity Center.
Thank you. Ex officio Peck.
So on April 24th, which is a Saturday, I'm actually going to what's called the Autism Walk. Sorry. Yeah. So on April 24th, which is a Saturday, I'm going to the Autism Walk. And actually my friend's brother has autism, which is why I initially got interested in the walk. And I'm going to be going with Key Club at my school because they're going to have a little booth there. But you can still sign up just to walk at www.walknowforautismspeaks.org. And it starts at 8 and it goes on till about 11, I think. And also, I think I'm going to use Key Club to help me get this denim day going on too at our school. So,
where did you say the walk is? The autism walk?
Rose Bowl.
At the Rose Bowl. So if anybody wants to go, they can go over to the Rose Bowl early on Saturday.
They should go to walknowforautismspeaks.org and sign up first, and then show up.
Right. Good luck. Okay. Thank you. All staff, any comments?
I just wanted, in case I was remiss in mentioning the company name who sponsored our free self-defense classes, I can't recall, Vision Communications Co. They're a wireless communications company based out of Long Beach. The woman who owns the Long Beach location, her name is Maggie Kavarian, and she was very generous in donating the funds so we could have these free classes. So thank you, Maggie, and thank you, Vision Communications.
Owned by women and run by women, and they all work on the wireless in the city of Glendale. So we thank them very much. We thank them very much. I would like to, first of all, congratulate Seroptimist International of Glendale. They had their Bras for a Cause Saturday event. It was absolutely fabulous. And the thing that pleased me the most was several of our Camp Rosie grads were there as volunteers from ARC, and they're just great young women, and they're still talking about Camp Rosie and how much fun they had. So it was a great event, and I congratulate Seroptimist, and all that money goes to the breast cancer programs at the 3 local hospitals here in Glendale, so it was a great cause. Don't forget Glendale Healthy Kids Taste of Glendale. The tickets are $25. It is on May 12th this year. There's also wine tasting. And to call for tickets, 818-548-7931. So for $25, you can taste all the restaurants in Glendale, and for $15 more, there will be wine tasting at Massage Envy. So that's going to be a fun event, and also a very good cause for health care. We provide access to health care for low-income and insured children. I want to take this opportunity to thank Ms. Baboumian, because she has had so many balls in the air. She's been working on Sexual Assault Awareness Month, the Jules Gala, the Camp Rosie, Denim. I mean, she's worked so hard in the last few months, I can't even begin to tell you. So I want to personally thank you very much on behalf of the Commission for that. Please, I ask you to support our Jules event as well. It is our only fundraiser. It's the only way that we can continue our programs. The Hands and Words Are Not for Hurting, our Camp Rosie, our all of the programs that we talked about tonight. It's real important, so we ask for your support. And don't forget, April 21st is Denim Day, and also that evening we have a self-defense class, so I hope to see a lot of you there. I want to conclude the meeting with Vice Chair Pillsbury is reminding me that for all the young ladies in the audience, you can start signing up for Camp Rosie. Just call Ms. Baboumian at 548-4844, and we've been, as we said, we tweaked it. We'll have the full report next time, but we're going to put dance into it, and maybe some hip hop and some other activities that the girls have asked for, so that it's not it's a lot more fun, although we've gotten the best comments about it. So but we want to make it even better. So if you want to ages 14 to 18, correct?
We can take 13.
We can take 13? Okay. Ages 13 to 18. It's a leadership camp and all kinds of wonderful information for young girls, including all of the classes that Sari, who was here for Peace Over Violence, mentioned: self-defense, safe dating, financial literacy, et cetera, et cetera. It's all at this camp, so please, it's free. Call 548-4844. And I leave you this month with, if you want to find yourself, lose yourself helping others, in the service of others. And with that, can I have a motion for adjournment? Second?
I second.
This meeting is adjourned at 7:55.